Hi, what's up, everybody? I'm Dave Hem. I'm here with the lovely Corina Benner, yoga teacher extraordinaire. We're here at Full Circle Yoga X Wellness, and this is the Be Wellthy podcast. It's been a long time. It's been about 4 years, 5 months, 13 days since my last one. And so that's Wellthy as Wellthy. I've been waiting for the right time to get back into the podcast and talk to awesome people to hear their story and just to get some inspiration, because God knows I need some inspo.
It's hard to believe.
Contrary to popular belief.
Yeah, you need to quietly feel you're well.
Yeah, and then here we are. I asked her, she said yes. We tried on Tuesday to do it after a class. But I had to see the tax man. They got me. They finally caught me. I was like, I was just making a little. I was just making enough, trying to stay stealth, and then some cash, some that. I moved around a lot. They was like, you moved around a lot, Dave. They said that, and I was like I'm always kind of in and out the matrix, in the system. I didn't want to be of it. But anyway, so here we are. And I am very honored to be hanging out with Corina Benner. That's how you say it, right?
It's Corina Benner.
Corina Benner.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Benner sounds like better. And we're gonna get better.
Better and better.
Yeah. So, Corina, why don't you just start with how'd you end up in yoga though? What brought you into the practice of yoga?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. It's kind of a funny story. My grandmother apparently, like almost as an insult when I was a kid, was saying, "You're going to be a yogi," which is
Grandma said that.
Very funny. I think so. She said my sister, young sister. Anyway, I won't go there. But Souderton, PA, is where the original Kripalu began. Before they moved up to Massachusetts, there was like a little ashram in Souderton, PA, which is not far from where I grew up. So when my grandmother spat out I was probably going to be a yogi, I don't think she thought that was a good thing.
Yeah, and at that time it was. I feel like it was like sneered upon, right? You kind of
was probably the 70s or something.
Yeah, still fresh.
But I did spend my childhood like holding my breath underwater and doing headstands. Like I was always doing headstands and handstands. So.
No training, just straight
trying,
up.
Just trying. Always, okay. But it's so good to be able to do something better at this age than I could then. That's awesome.
The healing process, right?
But yeah, so I didn't know anybody who was practicing yoga. It wasn't easy to find yoga. I think in 1992, I was living out in Paoli with some roommates, and we found some mainline night school. So they were doing like 10 weeks of yoga on like a Tuesday night, and I got my roommates to enroll with me.
Wow, enroll.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah. And that, it was an interesting experience. I kind of got a little bit freaked out. So I went with roommates and friends, and it was kind of cool, and he burned incense, and I remember doing like tree pose where you were trying to support each other standing. It was sort of hatha, like old school.
Okay.
But during Shavasana, he put his fingers over my heart, his fingers like on my chest. And it freaked me out because he didn't touch my roommates. And I didn't know what to make of it.
How old was it? How old were you at this time?
22.
22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 24.
Okay.
22. 20. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do the math, but and so it kind of freaked me out. So I stopped going.
Freaked you out in a bad way?
Yeah.
As I say, you can't do that now, I'm sure.
Well, if I had been more emboldened, if I had had more agency, I probably would have asked him. But
what's up?
You're sleeping, you're resting, someone touches you, it's got like a vulnerable feeling, and
sure.
I just stopped going. So 3 years later, I started going to yoga on Main. I was living in the art museum area.
Okay.
I would ride my bike Sunday morning.
So the art museum, you did yoga there?
Yoga on Main in Manayunk.
Okay.
So I would ride my bike from the art museum over into Manayunk, take a yoga class, and then float home. It was very gentle at the time. They were calling it Vinny yoga.
Yeah.
And it was it was wonderful. It was lovely. I was very active. I lifted weights. I ran. I rode my bike. And the yoga wasn't so much like physically demanding, but it was so leveling, stabilizing, calming.
Did you know that at that time, at the ripe age of 22, 23, 24?
At that time, I was
did you?
25.
Yeah. How did you, like? Because now, like looking back at it, right? Like did you? How did you frame it in that way too? Like this?
I think.
Or was it just
I just went by myself. I didn't go with other people. I would go in. I'd be very quiet. I'd arrive just when class is starting. I would leave. I would say thank you. I was super shy, and I took a friend with me once, and I was thinking like, I'm going to share this amazing thing with you, and she was bored out of her mind. So that was. It wasn't until I like had a peer,
right,
that I was like, oh, maybe not everybody's into this. So what did I think? I think it just made me feel really good. Like, just made me feel good. I probably didn't have a lot of other language for it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and because like I know I started at the art museum. I went for my first class was the art museum.
Oh, you did? The steps. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was at the time. It was indoors,
love that.
and I remember
Was it Liana?
Liana. Yeah, so it's funny because like she was the first teacher to ever like had first.
Camaras?
Liana
Camaras?
Something like that. Yeah, she lives in Colorado now.
Yeah.
And I remember she wore our green. She had a green scarf, and it just like kind of, I don't know if I just like put that on her, projected on her, but it was like this energy. Like I was like, what is this? And what I really remembered most was how she walked. It was like a glide.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It was like
throughout the class, or
yeah,
after
it was a
class?
glide. It was like it wasn't just like frumping walking. Like you know what I mean? I could say like what is that? That intrigued me about what she was doing, how she stood. You know what I mean? How she talked and just sequenced words but see, like the yoga like fairly. It came kind of because I'm a martial artist, dancer. That was martial arts was my first thing. So I was like, it came easy, and not easy, but like I understood my body to move, and so I think I don't know because like I think it's like much harder. Like if someone has no idea and like of their body and just kind of like, and then of bigger stature and like inflexible in certain ways, or not inflexible, but just have a limited range of motion, I would say, and like because I see them in class, I'm like, oh man, that's it right there. But like, cause I was kind of fair with it. I don't think if it was a struggle for me, I probably would have done it. But, yeah. But so 21, 22. So was there any suffering involved in your decision to go to yoga? Because I was, Desica Char. I heard him say like, if there's no suffering, there's no yoga, right?
Oh.
You know what I mean? But because I was suffering mentally and spiritually, I felt like. You know what I mean? Before
you found yoga.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then some people have an injury that bring them into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I have met some people that just, so, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no, I think I was, back when it was harder to find, you really had to seek it out, so you were looking for a reason, whether you knew what it was or you didn't know. I would say I was deeply wounded. Probably I don't know to call it depression because it was never diagnosed. And it was always surface level happy and showing but very closed off, very isolated internally. And I don't know I can't even imagine who I'd be if I hadn't found yoga. Like I really honestly can't imagine who I'd be. I was telling somebody, I was like, they were like, well, what is somatic yoga?
Yeah.
And I'm like, look.
Yeah, please define it. I need to know too.
This was my answer, and I don't know if it's the right answer, but my answer was like, before there was trauma-informed yoga, there was yoga. Before there was somatic yoga, there was yoga. Before there was yoga therapy, there was yoga. Like, my opinion is that all yoga was grief yoga. All yoga was healing yoga. And because it works on all levels, your mind, your energy, your emotions, your physical body, it's very efficient, and you don't even have to necessarily process consciously, but so much is happening. So somatic yoga, and then for a long time the yoga schools were taking their name from Sanskrit, right? So the different yogas from there. But now post-pandemic in this brave new world, now people are using words that are more like therapeutic words or trauma-informed. Or, But it's all yoga.
Yeah, and I feel like, because everyone's trying to find a niche and try to stand out, especially in an oversaturated place of just wellness in itself. To me is this I call it the umbrella, right? It's like the it's in such demand right now. Absolutely, you've seen it in like privates and corporate. Like that's the thing. Like it does everyone. Like to get it, and like the idea of like, oh, I don't want to go to a class. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and there's so many forms of it as well. But like it's like. I kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah, and then you just add these little, but like you said, like it just encompasses it all, and then companies, corporations are in demand, like it's everywhere, like everyone's fucked, everyone's fucked up, and then like my theory is that because of the panda, right? Yeah. And we're gonna see this kind of delayed. We ain't seen nothing yet.
In terms of the
mental health stuff, and like everybody, at least in Western mammalian culture, right? You know what I mean? Because like there's, you know what I mean? There's Bhutan, and there's they're like you saw that article, and like Bhutan, like the happiest place in the world. You know what I mean? They're like the happiest people and stuff, and like with less. Cambodia, the smiling people they call them. That's where I'm from. And this kind of makes me think. It's like because being in the West, like it's all I know, right? Right. And then when I visited Cambodia about 5 years ago, it was like I felt like everyone was my family, like cousin, brother, auntie, because they look like me. Like I'm over here, and I'm like, you kind of look like me, but not, you know what I mean? But like, so I felt almost like alone in a way, but like there I felt, and then there was like, there's not this pressure, like I'm like, I don't know, like I'm almost at a place, because I think I'm saying that because my mental health is a bit, it's on the chopping block every day. Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I think, and the more I, as a teacher, you give, right? And it's, my friend Chelsea said, like, she did a funny story on IG, like about, like, all right, who cleans the vacuum cleaner? And I'm like, fuck yeah, like, because the vacuum cleaner does a lot of shit, depending on how many attachments you got. But like, you gotta clean the vacuum cleaner too. Yeah. And like, I feel like, I don't know, it's like community was something I was, helping to build this place back up, because that's what I needed. Everything I'm doing is a selfish thing. But it also checks boxes for others as well. I hope, you know what I mean?
Well, if it's an urge or a need or something that you need, you can imagine that you're not the only one.
Yeah.
I think in one of her books, Pema Chodron said something like, however you're feeling in this moment, you can bet that 6 million other people on the planet feel that same way. Yeah. So we could sit there and feel sorry for ourselves, or we could figure out how to help. Right. How to do something. When I had Wake Up Yoga for 18 years, and I totally created that place to be a place where everybody would belong. All you had to do is want to be there. There was no, and I think because I always felt like I didn't belong. I always felt like I was an outsider. I changed schools 7 times. My parents got divorced when I was young, and my siblings all ganged up on me. And being the new girl in school.
How many siblings?
I have an older sister and a younger sister and brother. And so I never felt like I belonged, and I used to say that I was like the Statue of Liberty, saying like, bring us your lonely hearts, bring us your socially awkward, bring us your defiant, disordered, like just come to Wake Up Yoga. And so building community, you're feeling the pull, the urge to create something. I'm hungry for it. I don't know, did you see my post, my email post? I just sent an email last night. I like plugged Full Circle Yoga.
Oh, sweet.
And I said, I should pull it up and read it.
Pull it up.
Yeah? All right.
Let's make sure there's still time. Yeah, okay,
Marketing email. All right. view? How do I view you? Come on.
Pressure's on.
I know. View. Here we go. So I usually like say something and I address people. I didn't this email. I just had to get some stuff out. But I wrote, have you heard of Full Circle Yoga X Wellness, Philadelphia's newest addition to the yoga scene? Owned and operated by some serious OGs who are devoted to bringing back old school healing and community vibes. This spot is fire. I was trying to use like current lingo.
I like that. Did you use AI? No?
I did it myself.
Very nice.
Lori McAllister, Dave Hem, and Kat Very are investing hearts and souls in jumpstarting a vibrant community for us yoga refugees who have felt displaced and disheartened post-pandemic. Right? Yoga refugees.
Bars. You're dropping some gems there.
Yeah. After learning that they took a huge leap, taking over the lease in the space formerly occupied by Diana, I asked if they'd consider adding me to their schedule. I've been hungry for a yoga home to roll out my mat, a place to gather with others and chant the sacred sound of Om, maybe even dust off the harmoniums to stitch together a tapestry of sound with some time-tested mantras.
Oh, I like the way you say the last part again, the tapestry part. I like that. That's good.
Maybe even dust off the harmonium to stitch together a tapestry of sound with some time-tested mantras. Right?
That's delicious.
Yeah. Teach yin and slower flow vinyasa in a room in which we breathe, laugh, and sweat together, collectively falling back in love with yoga as we literally and figuratively come back to life. I was so grateful when they said yes to my request. So then I talk about the classes I'll teach and the candlelight yoga this Sunday.
Damn.
But my last sentence says, it will be lovely to... No, I wrote, I really sincerely super duper a lot. I hope you can join me.
Super
duper a lot. meant to be inaccurate.
Yep.
It will be so lovely to be together and just so damn gratifying to have a place we can contribute to energetically and a place where we can feel we belong.
That's beautifully well done.
Right?
Yeah. So I like that's one skill that's kind of, you know, like, cause I do a lot of my descriptions through AI.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because I like that. You know, I like my artist creative. I know myself, right? And then, within using it, I've gotten some. I'll say this like this in 4 sentences.
Oh wow!
And it's like certainly, and it just goes. It don't say nah. I can't right now. I'm on the phone with someone. It's just like, got you. I was like, can you give me 3 versions of that? You know what I mean? Can you explain it to a 4th grader? You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I've gotten in some rooms in this past couple months by doing that. Because like, damn, because I think I have these things. I'm an action guy.
Yeah.
Like, once you be around me, my energy type stuff. But but I just need to get into the room.
Don't know how to get through the door.
Yeah, and then like the corporate speak stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, but I'm also learning while doing.
Yeah.
Because it's also learning me too. And I'm like, okay, that's how you say it. Then I'll go in and I'll edit it and say put my funk in it, my Dave in it. And then, like, you know, it's like, oh, this is cool. But I'm learning how to, because I don't want to just totally blind it. And I think I might. Because I'm one of those guys that's like, I'm ready to go on like a
You're all ready?
Virtual butterfly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. I'm with it. I'm already doing it. Put the you know what I mean? Like, I'm with it. So if you hear me out there, Neuralink and all the people, like, I think, what if, okay, like, there's some stuff on it, but like, what if the key is to fuse both science, spirit, and the spirit, right? I once heard this one cool quote that says, science is a systematic study of spirituality.
I like that.
You know what I mean? It's like, we're saying the same thing.
We just keep trying to figure out what's happening here.
We're just trying to, like, yo, what's going on here? What the fuck? Why am I like this? You know? And like, maybe that is, because we've only been here for, I don't know, depending on what belief systems I'm on, like I don't know how long humans been around, but like, maybe that is the thing of like, you know what I mean? But I don't know. But
evolution, growth, yeah.
So maybe that's the part, you know, because we're so close to the nature and the organic stuff, you know, like, because it's something from us as well. It's like this kind of snake eating itself in a way, you know, because we're like, all right, you help me technology now, I help technology. Like passing the baton back and forth, you know, so. And, so
Well,
And
I
it's
like
done.
your optimism.
You know?
I'm Gen X. So I'm a little bit defiant, a little bit push off, sort of like
Sure. I see it
anti-establishment.
Yeah.
Grunge band.
Yeah, and because I like, but I also want to end up with like a dog farm, like hanging with dogs in like a yoga sanctuary thing.
That's what you do.
That's my end game. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm done. Like I just want to be like, it's called Dave's Urban Farm Doggy Daycare Wellness Sanctuary and Institute and Emporium.
Okay, I love it. I love that.
I just want to have the title.
No,
like that,
I love that.
I
don't even sometimes I think I don't know where I'm going or what my vision is. So I love that you have. Like, vision.
Okay? So for the majority, have you always had a vision? Did that? And
I don't know. I mean, maybe. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a TV news anchor. And I studied that in college.
Did you? Okay. Did you do the cadence in the talk? Like
I did. I took a voice and diction class.
Yeah. Can you
voice and diction?
Can you say? Say warrior like Q Warrior 2 in a news anchor voice?
I don't know if I can do that. Place your right foot next to your left. I don't know about that.
Here on Channel 6 and Om.
But you better tune in. No, what I learned in college was I loved putting together news packages. I got freaked out by the thought that I could just decide what news was, and I got really disheartened by the media.
You got to see behind the curtain.
I mean, you learn about news hotspots, and you learn about people sitting on boards who have vested interests in news not getting covered, and you just start to realize that the way the news media they're freedom fighters, or they are
bought out.
No, like the people who they're either freedom fighters, that means we're on their side, or they're dangerous, and we're because we're not on the government side. It's so insidious the way that the media informs our thinking that I don't even own a television.
So you saw firsthand the programming piece, right?
Yeah. I mean, just behind you get not firsthand.
Because they would say this story goes, this story bounces, this story stays.
Well, they wouldn't. We didn't get that hands on, but we learned about the that would be.
Oh, please, you got to say more on that. Unpackage that, please.
It was along those lines, like the news hotspots. So we're always going to cover this. I came away from college thinking that the media is always saying, fear this, be this, buy this. Fear this, be this, buy this. Fear this, be this. And so, shaping our values, telling us what we should.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, so where were we?
Polyphonic
flex, and you were talking about the traits, and we're always constantly changing. Constantly changing. Maybe said some.
Yeah, no, it's. I like the possibility that we're less an entity and more a process.
Yeah.
Just process, and if people are labeling you, as you were saying, like you're a racist, you're a narcissist, you're. To say maybe I'm expressing those qualities in the moment.
Yeah, and even then, that's someone considered a source, right?
Yeah.
Like, where's it coming from? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right, what's underneath?
Like, who's the person saying? Like, people who are in a cult don't be like, "Hey, I'm in a cult." They say you're in a cult. Like, I guess so. Like if you're saying it, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm just chilling. I got mad family right now. Yes. So polyphonic flux to help alleviate.
And go to Penn. What are you going to do with it?
Because I have some people there. I also want to get Penn to study what we're doing here. Like actually have participants fill out a form and participate in our art therapy stuff, music therapy, and just what we do, just to have data behind what I'm trying to bring to this place. You know what I mean? And then that can the science and the spirituality fusing together. You know what I mean? To support the claims of this institution, and then I think that could add a little more credibility into what we're doing. And I've already talked to a few students that were like, yeah, I'd love to do that and shit. You know what I mean? And it'd be a great little side project for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. It's good when all of the things are proven to be accurate.
You know what I mean? I told you.
And it's funny, I'll say this breathing exercise has these benefits, or this pose has these benefits, and sure, hearing what the benefits are might inspire you to practice once, but your own experience is what's going to get you to do it again.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'll buy a bottle of wine once for the label. But if I don't, keep pointing people back to their own experience, back to their, interoception, back to their own healing process, their own consciousness arising.
Was there a moment, maybe not in class, but maybe in class or out of class, that was just really, was there any key moments that defined what you wanted to do? Okay, I'm gonna do this shit. Like you said, you asked, what can you make a living from this, right?
Can you make a living teaching?
But what was, you know what? I don't need you to tell me if I can. I'm gonna fucking do it. What was that energy like?
I think I had this idea of I could have a yoga studio, and we could have potlucks on Thanksgiving, and we could just have a place for. I'm Cancerian. My sun sign is Cancerian, so I'm always collecting the stray puppies. Right, I always want to bring everybody in. I guess I'm a stray puppy.
That's what you said about the Statue of Liberty thing,
right? And what finally made me decide to do it was, I was teaching yoga in New York. And,
New York, huh?
When I finished my teacher training program, I got up to teaching within 6 months. I think I was teaching up to 17 classes a week.
Damn, that's how
classes
you know.
And
did you seek the classes, or did they come to you?
That's such a good question. I really felt like I worked hard at it, but I didn't work hard for it. Things were coming. They were coming to me. And then opening Wake Up Yoga, I felt like I was on a magic carpet. I genuinely, was it
great?
It was so it was all lining up. It was all lining up. I worked hard, but someone, without me even asking, offered to loan me $2,000 for interest free for a year or 2 years, and the space was just a bit it just came about. It was really it was magical. It felt super, super affirming.
Yeah, I feel like those things, yoga, same thing. I knew that when those things come in, they tend to stay. When things I was forcing into, because I was not supposed to be in there, but it's fine, okay, go for it.
Make
but
it happen.
The yoga teaching I didn't want to, and it just I became an energy exchanger, and then I got hired, and it's funny because I was working the desk at the energy exchange, and Diana came. I didn't know it was her though. And I just treated her like everyone else. You know what I mean? And then she went to did the workshop, and I was like, yeah, okay, And the next day, Mike was like, yo, you want a job here? I was like, sure. Because I was like, because they had I think they had some, I don't know what, a Facebook page or something for who wants to take shifts energy exchanging, and I was just taking them all because I just loved coming to the city.
Oh, nice.
And
where were you living?
I was in North Philly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was in Albany.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would take the bus to class, and then I became a manager a year later, and then I asked Dee, I was like, yo, can I get a scholarship? Not scholarship, but can I get a payment plan? She's like, no, you're gonna need a scholarship. Aww. And I was so when things was when I knew when I didn't have to pay, even shutting money into it, I didn't have to. Yeah. I did a little bit, but for that was and she gave me some of my first classes, gave me the platform. And I was doing 15, 17 from the gate. So I was like, this is good. Because I was a plumber
Oh,
and,
wow.
and a factory worker. I was making orthodontic supplies.
Being a plumber is a great skill.
You know what I mean? They save lives. They save lives, yo.
Oh, no, for sure. It's a great skill.
Yeah. And I was doing like 2 classes, but I was like, I had all my days occupied with work. I was like, damn, I want to do this full time, but I can't. I gotta leave. So I took one day. I was like, can I just say I can't work this day anymore. And then a little bit later, that almost like the universe, like, I see you here's 3 classes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh wait, let me just quit the whole factory job altogether. That gave me 3 days out, and I just started getting them. You know, so it's like it flowed in, but it was definitely scary.
Yeah.
But like those things. Yeah, and so I feel like that's what 2024, this studio was a big representative of, like, I'm not forcing anything.
No.
I'm not gonna force anything anymore.
No.
I'm just tired of it.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, and like the things I force.
You can make it work, but it's not satisfying. It never.
Yeah, and like I'm like, well, like, so seriously, I'm like, I'm not gonna take. I've seen people like studio owners and stuff, you know what I mean? And I can see what it can do, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, this is a lot. And I just want to, like, if this happens, it works, it works. If it flows, it flows.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But
how is it flowing so far?
It's flowing, man. I mean, there are some hiccups, you know, internally, I would say. You know, but like, as far as what I'm doing and energy-wise, it's like, like, I'm not trying, and I landed a big corporate gig.
Neat.
They're doing a retreat here next week. Shout out to Ada Wellspring Philanthropic Fund for their trust, and it's like, you know, 2.5 hours for a couple G's. So we're not a little under 2 G's. But I was like, that's 2 hours of work, and that's what I'm like. There you go. That's what I want to do. I want to do events, and I want to do that, and they're coming. You know what I mean? Like, I had a phone call with Live Nation the other day to talk about taking the shit to a venue and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And it's flowing in that way because it's like, because I'm just doing it. And like the fact that we got the rent paid, or most of it, 98% of it, maybe 97%. But like, with it, and we just technically opened. Yeah. You know, that was a good sign. You know what I mean? But it's like, I just want to flow, and if it doesn't feel right, then I'm gonna start doing it. You know, so.
Yeah. By the end of Wake Up Yoga, I definitely was.
Was there a time before the 18 years that was like, shit, you know, like you was like kind of.
I mean, if I'm honest.
I hope.
If I'm being honest, yeah, the 15-year mark maybe should have been the end. And it's funny when I was opening up on Sansom Street, the spot that's now operated by Maha Yoga, which is great. Like, when I was considering that space, my meditation teacher was really positive, like really supportive of me opening there. Shambhala Center was right next door, so it was gonna be. And it was I never invested money before in spaces. Like, they were just open rooms. I just threw paint on the wall, and I had to do a build out. I had to invest money, and I definitely was taking me into terrain I wasn't fluent in, I wasn't comfortable in, and I, thought, well, this would be really cool, and more people will be able to teach, and more students will be benefited, and but I don't think it was my idea. My meditation teacher was really like, so I felt like maybe the lineage was like pulling me, and so I remember saying out loud, like, the last thing Corina Benner needs is another yoga studio, and things were getting so different. Class Pass was around, cutting into the bottom line, and teachers were they felt a little less committed to the space, and they were, which is fine, they're working on their own brand. Yeah. But for me, it was a lot of HVAC problems, computer technology problems, internet is down, the plumbing's not working, the teacher didn't show up, and I think.
Do you ever had an assistant? You ever had one of those?
Yeah. Did some. But it was very funny when somebody from Philadelphia Magazine, their online wellness blog, whatever called it, was like, why now? Why would you open in Center City now with all the other yoga studios?
And what year was this? Do you remember? Or like what time?
This was in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fairly recent.
Yeah, 8 years ago. Really recent.
In yoga years.
And I literally was like, this studio's kind of like an oops baby. It's kind of like...
a love child?
Yeah, a love child. I guess it was a love child. But, I mean, I'm so proud of the work I did at Wake Up Yoga. And I'm very happy to not be doing that anymore. Yeah. And I'm so happy to have a studio I could maybe give some energy to and contribute to. And, and I'm fired up about what y'all are doing, your team. But it's going to be a little bumpy in the beginning.
Yeah.
And policy, one of my like catchphrases when I was in business all those years ago, in the very beginning, I was like, policy doesn't get created until there's a problem. You don't know you need a policy till something happens.
Right.
So policy is like a continuous for me, it was a continuously evolving, like, whatever policy had to be invented, the problem hadn't arisen yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like it's like the necessity. Was it? And necessity
is the mother of invention. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
But.
Yeah, and the thing is, I just don't want to. I don't want to work anymore.
Right.
Like, I really believe that there is a lifestyle or a way you can navigate throughout this 3-dimensional plane that's not totally reliant and totally monitored through systems and institutions, right? I think there's a way you can befriend the system and the economy and then work with it and navigate in and out, the kind of like the bodhisattva type energy. Like you kind of learn it and then come back with it and then try to take some here and then come back to the masses and you know what I mean? I think that's the story with Buddhas and stuff. Like, one is like they get enlightenment and never seen again. And there's the one that's like,
with bodhisattvas, take a vow that everyone else is before them. They vow to serve all living beings. There's the story of Avalokiteshvara, who heard about all the suffering and the beings and like worked really hard to end all the suffering, and then was like, good, I did it, now I can be enlightened. And whomever showed them all, like, had them look all around to see the magnitude and the depth of suffering. And apparently Avalokiteshvara like cried and there's like I'm probably saying that wrong, so I apologize if I don't have it right, but the motivation to just keep helping because suffering is so pervasive. But this idea, like navigating in and out, kind of like a ninja, like you have to work with the insanity. You have to see the hypocrisy, the insanity, the madness, the people chasing I don't know what, chasing happiness, imagining that it's always around the corner. The carrot. People aren't actually, like, they're somehow dissatisfied with right now. Like, we've been trained to be dissatisfied with right now. Yep. So we're constantly seeking a preferred experience. And by doing that, it's like we're missing our lives. We're actually missing the embodied, visceral, wild, sensate experience of having this experience, expressing and experiencing something quite profound, and yet chasing something else. I don't know if that made any sense.
No, absolutely, because it's like, all right, what do you think? Is it happiness? What, like, my thing, like, I don't know, like, it's like, you kind of conditioned it. Everyone, you need happiness. Like, so my question is like happiness all the time? Like, that's kind of manic, right? Or like, what degrees of happiness? What flux can energy continue? Or because I was thinking, like, maybe it's just to be content. Maybe it's just to be, okay, I'm cool with my skin right now. Like, because I feel like that's the main thing that kind of what I work on the most, is just being able to be myself at the most highest self, depending on my continuum, of course. Yeah.
I think we might imagine. I think even people imagine enlightenment to be like a continuous, endless peak experience. Right. But I don't think that's it. I think instead it's about being at ease no matter what is arising. And so we're chasing a peak experience, imagining that that's where happiness is. I'm going to go and do this thing, and then I have it, but it doesn't last. It doesn't sustain itself. But when you can be in the ease of whatever is. And when I say I don't have a vision, maybe there's a part of that that's like, I'm pretty content moving forward with, I hope I'm not avoiding something, but I feel like I love my life. I'm very...
Yeah, and you talk about you're trained to chase that, like, you're not trained to be that, right? So, like, maybe that's the thing, is like, because I feel like, oh, maybe I should be chasing something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I have to, because when I do feel that way, I get glimpses of that. Yeah. And like ride around in my car and just like doing stuff. There are moments, and like, it's like that. You ever heard that quote? It said, "Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water." Right? Yeah. And like it doesn't stop. It's not gonna stop just because you found some peace, bro. Like now here's some more chaos to fucking do. Can you chill? You know what I mean? Like
first there was a mountain, then there was no mountain, then there was a mountain. You realize that whatever the constructs that we're creating, and maybe people imagine that enlightenment is like it doesn't hurt. I think one of my teachers, when someone asked him, what is enlightenment like? He said it gets sadder and sadder and sadder. Because you just see this miracle, this existence, and how poorly people treat each other and how we're chasing something else. Like, sometimes I think I just cry all the time.
Yeah.
I'm crying listening to Katy Perry sing about, California girls, I'm just like, how... beautiful and silly and like beautiful in the moment and fleeting and impermanent and like I don't know if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I was at a camp over the weekend and these kids were doing their dance routines for a talent show and I was just crying. They're so cute and they're like a little awkward and they're waiting for the beat to do the next tumble and they're like, just like bawling my eyes out.
Right. Now, what do you think that is? I mean, because like that kid-like essence of wonder and just like
showing up.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like I remember as a kid, like, let's do a handstand. Sure. Fuck. You know what I mean? But now I'm like, engage. You know what I mean? Going through all my cues and shit. But now I'm not. Now I'm doing handstands. Now it just goes. But it's like this. Yeah. Almost like it's just this. Yeah. Like I'm trying to reintroduce my child. And you know what I mean? Because I feel like we just force ourselves to grow up. Because I remember being, I can't wait to be 16, dog. I'm gonna get that driver's license, man. I'm gonna drive around. Yeah. 18, I could, you know what I mean? And shaping up my stash, just trying to make sure it's getting darker, put a little dark into it, just like, but then at like 15 and 14, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like when I, coming into yoga, I was still there, like at least emotionally. And like responsibility, because I was like 30 when I started doing the yogas. So like the whole I don't know, like I just want to play now going into this next being 42 in human years. It's like that's it, like I'm not working if like I don't want to work with like, you know what I mean? Like everything.
You're not like building your portfolio and managing your assets.
Yeah.
And,
when my heart leads the way, I'm gonna follow it. Like I follow the heart model, I call it. And just like, and this is what got me here. Like I was just gonna keep teaching from the heart, keep teaching from that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like then you get into this thing. It's just this studio and legal documents and like you know what I mean. And then it hurts my heart a bit,
Yeah, but it's the construct. It's just how it's how things work. You can still navigate your way around.
Yeah,
this, I suppose, and just get some good mentors.
Yeah.
Get some people like who might be willing to help you see from like view is so important. Like how do you how do you hold your mind relative to what's occurring?
Right.
But yeah.
What do you think? What do you think's next for you? Do you have an end game? Did you have a? I mean, you said you didn't have a vision, but is there like a?
I mean, I just taught I used to teach Yin Yoga teacher trainings, maybe 2 a month, or I was working all the time. I would work like 3 months without a day off. I would just work. I was driven. I definitely was driven at the studio and then teaching other places on weekends or whatever. But I just taught a training last weekend, which I hadn't done one since October. And it's always it's just affirming to be back in that seat, back in the material, back in the environment, and to still feel like I'm like lit up about it and sharing something meaningful. So I like, some trainings. Maybe my problem is I have too many ideas. There's too many things I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you ever heard of that phenomenon called decision paralysis? Or like the whole like
analysis paralysis.
Yeah, something like there's just too many things to decide, so you don't do anything.
Yeah, they say that
it's like a Chinese food menu.
Manifestation requires limitation. In order to manifest something, like you have to choose against. To choose against. So yeah, I mean, I'm working with people privately. I really like. Yeah. I get super excited. This is so funny. Like I'm very comfortable in the realm of grief. Like yoga for loss and letting go, not just grief when people die, but loss. We're losing things all the time. So I like, I'm kind of like poetic and soulful, and a little like a cancer crab, a little bit like moody with a great giggle. So I like grief. I like working with people in that terrain. I loved retreats, leading retreats. I feel like I can really hold that space. Like I feel like the best of me shows up. The best I have when I'm teaching yoga. Like that's the best Corina Benner.
Yeah. I always do that like when I'm dealing with shit outside. Hi. Hello. Hey, what's up, guys? Hi. Oh, we're just doing a little podcast. It's cool. Hey, guys. Oh, good. What time is it? Oh, cool. Yeah.
I might have to do my park.
Hi, Saul.
Say hi, buddy.
Oh,
yeah.
Hello. Hi, good to see you. Hi, good to see you too.
Yeah, we could like wrap
sure.
Even like two. This won't be the last time. I'll tell you for sure.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
I hope not.
No,
this
it won't
really
be. This is cool. Like I like the. I had a lightning round thing, but I forgot. So let me just
lightning
go.
Round.
Lightning round.
Lightning
round. Okay. In or out?
In.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
With or without?
With.
If you had to remake a movie, book, or TV show with you starring in it, what would it be?
I know. I mean, I love Dangerous Liaisons. Love that movie. I loved Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh yeah. Who would you be? Would you be?
Oh, Clementine. Probably. Yeah.
Oh, what else I have? Damn, I had a whole list, but I forgot it on my other phone. But we'll do it on the other one. You know what I mean? Oh, favorite yoga pose today?
Handstand. Yeah. Yeah.
Night or day?
I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
Day. Yeah.
CDs, tapes, records, or MP3. MP3.
I guess records.
Records. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, what a beautiful, beautiful expression. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The great Corina Benner coming by to grace this space with style and lace, with such a lovely face. And we hope that we will do more of these. Thank you so much, Corina, for just allowing me to sitting down in the space and sharing your heart with us.
Thanks so much. Can I? So I have a website. It's just my name.
Yes, please plug it up.
My name, CorinaBenner.com. It's one N, one R. Corina, Corina. It's not Corina, Ka. It's Co. It feels different. Yeah. So please reach out
on Instagram. On Instagram.
Oh yeah, Corina Benner.
Corina Benner.
Facebook.
Corina Benner.
Corina Lynn Benner, maybe.
Corina Lynn Benner. And anything? Oh, you have an event here. You have a.
Oh yeah, Candlelight Yoga Sunday night, June 2nd, 6 to 7:15 p.m. A chance to, as summer is coming upon us and it's maybe getting harder to get back to the work week. Let's get on the mat and process whatever did and didn't happen and prepare, set the view for the week ahead. And
that's this June 2nd. June 2nd, I'll be there.
I'm going to start teaching here June
Yes.
18th. Is that what we said?
June 18th, yes.
4 p.m. Yin Yoga, Soul Stirring Yin, and 5:45 p.m. Heart and Soul Slower Flow.
Tuesday, right?
Tuesdays.
And
2 for Tuesdays.
Yes, I can't wait for the yin class.
Thanks.
I call myself a yinja.
Yeah, you are.
And thanks guys for tuning in. Prepare for more. We'll have a lot more coming to you. Come check out the website. Come check out what we're doing here. Book your parties. Book your anything you want to do. Book clubs, crochet clubs, which I'm looking to get into. Style swap is on the way.
It's on Sunday.
It's on Sunday as well. 12 to 2. So bring your style. I'll bring mine. We can swap it out. I'm looking for a new wardrobe. I'm not trying to buy more shit. I got some leopard print. I know you do. I know you got some leopard print. So come on out, and thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful rest of your days on this earth. If I don't hear from you again. Any last words, Corina?
Make the most of your life.
Make it. Wow! Hey, Miles.
Thank you.